first fight we have is Montana De La Rosa versus JJ Aldrich. Montana De La Rosa, she's 12-8. She is 1-3-1 in her last five. She's going up against JJ Aldrich, 12-6, 3-2 in her last five. This will be a fight as far as the flyweight division for the girls. Just to give you guys a little bit of odds right here. For the odds, we have Montana De La Rosa. She actually opened up at plus 170. She has now been bet to minus 135. So a lot of people love those dog odds and push her to a slight favorite here. When I broke down this fight initially, God, I just remember JJ Aldridge. She's a good, decent all round fighter, but she does have a history of providing duds in a way. I think the last time that I remember her providing a really big dud was when she lost against Lipsky. I think she was a big favorite in that fight, and she looked absolutely flat in that fight and got smoked for all three rounds when I saw it. It was like easy 30-27. She is coming off good KO. I think she's going to be probably the better striker in this matchup on offense and defense. She has better striking differentials, better striking percentages on both offense and defense. She can get taken down, and I think that that's probably going to come to play against Montana De La Rosa. I mean, Montana, she's a slightly bigger girl in this matchup. I think she's the much better grappler. And the thing that I do like about Montana is that she sticks to her game plan, right? Even though her game plan is really straightforward, it's a she tries to set up her takedowns with her improving but not great striking game, but it is improving. She has persistent strike takedown pressure, and honestly, if you look at her losses, I mean, it's good quality losses, right? I mean, I don't think she's lost to any cannons or bums. I mean, she lost to Tatiana Suarez, lost to Macy Barber, Myra Buena Silva. I mean, Vivi Rujo. Those are some pretty decent losses, not bad. Um, if I had were to pick a fight, I mean, I would probably go Montana De La Rosa, but I think after the last event, as far as the first fight of the last event was what Vidal versus Monsterrett, right? Rendon Monsterrett, and man, that one kind of just reminded me to hey, let's maybe just stay away from these chicks. I mean, I don't know if I can like predict how they do. So my pick is Montana De La Rosa, but I'm staying away from this, not putting down any money on this. Alex, what are your thoughts on this first fight that we have here?
Yeah, so when I broke down the tape, what I kind of saw was that at least for JJ, JJ Aldrich, I do think that she's the better striker in this matchup. But she also does really like to wrestle. She likes to wrestle, but she doesn't really shoot any dynamic takedowns. She's kind of slow in her approach overall. Whereas Montana, she also likes to fight in the clinch, and her striking it is worse. She has a very I'd say slow striking kind of in terms of like the speed. And I do think she's overall like a pretty slow fighter. But I think Montana's a very huge flyweight. At least compared to JJ Aldrich, she looks way bigger than her. And so like for this fight specifically, I like Montana purely because she's a bigger flyweight than JJ. And I feel like that extra mass is gonna be beneficial in the clinch, which is where I think this fight is going to take place. Because again, JJ, although she is a better striker, she also really likes to wrestle as well. So um, in terms of like wrestling, I favor Montana just because she's bigger, and I feel like she'll be able to absorb more damage and be able to kind of use her extra weight and lean on her. So I like Montana here as my pick, but still not decided on a bet. But I like Montana here.
Yep, totally agree. Kevin, what are your thoughts on this fight here?
Yeah. So looking at the fighter histories, I think Montana's faced a lot of better opponents, tougher opponents. she's also a little bit younger, bigger, um, more physical than JJ. She's got a couple finishes under her belt. I think I'm gonna go with Montana here. I'm actually pretty confident on this one. JJ's coming off of a pretty big win, or a spectacular finish of her last opponent, um, whom was a lot smaller than her. Now she has to face someone a lot bigger with a lot a lot more experience and wins in the UFC. So I think she's going to be going from an easy fight to a much harder fight, and I don't think she's going to perform that well. Um, on top of that, the odds also started with JJ as a favorite, and now they've moved to Montana being the favorite.
Definitely.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm Montana.
Definitely. Yeah. And when the odds flip like that, usually there's a reason for that, right? A lot of people are pushing that money. So to be able to move a line like that means you're probably on the right side of the money flow in that case.
Yeah, pretty
Perfect.
confident
Perfect.
on this.
Yep. Sounds good.